From stoic military upbringings to pop teen idols, here's an insider's guide to the turbulent lives of young royals.
With all that material wealth comes a sense of obligation and sometimes even guilt that they must follow a certain path, that they must behave in a certain way, that they must live up to standards of the family. So on the one hand, you can be very, very wealthy, but you can also be very impoverished at the same time. One of the things that we know about depressed mothers is that they aren't as emotionally available to their children as an undepressed mother would be. So it's quite possible that the times when Diana spent with her sons, she may have been preoccupied with the difficulties she was experiencing in her life or in her health. And as a result, she may have been physically present, but perhaps emotionally somewhere else. And that has a great deal of impact on a developing child.
An impact that affected the two brothers in two very different ways.
Prince Harry is probably my favourite royal. I love him. I love the way that he has really gone out on a limb and he's kind of, turned his back on the establishment to a certain extent and said, look, I'm a young guy, I'm going to go out, I'm going to do these crazy things, to heck with whatever anyone says. And I think that actually shows a really healthy side to his character and a healthy side to his personality.
Zara Phillips pierced her tongue as an act of teenage rebellion, but her mum, Princess Anne, just took no notice and said, well, she can do what she likes and I'm not paying her dentist bills, which was very sensible.
Zara Phillips is quite an interesting royal because although she's really very much in the centre of the royal family, she also doesn't have quite so much oppression on her in terms of, the predetermined role perhaps in her later life. So we've seen from Zara a little bit of testing the boundaries, and one of the ways she's done that that's been quite high profile was she got her tongue pierced and, she's married someone who's perhaps not your typical royal. And in a way, it's really good that she's done that for herself because she's expressing, what is uniquely Zara and therefore making a persona for herself that is outside of the family.
A royal to have a pierced tongue or a social royal going to a Halloween party in a Nazi uniform.
But people reacted quite strongly to Zara's act of self-expression.
We've seen quite a lot of negativity from the general public. That tells us that sort of psychologically, we like our royal family to be a certain way. We like them to be very reserved. We like them to be very, very normal, and we don't really want them to step too far outside of what we consider a royal person should be like. So that sort of public backlash when one of the royal family does something that's a little bit avant-garde or a little bit outside of the boundaries is quite interesting to observe. Of course, it's very, very difficult being a young person. One of the biggest things that happens is that you start to look for relationships and you fall in love for the first time. You've got all the pleasure that brings, but also all the pain and all the torment that we've all been through. Now, if you're a royal teenager, you can take that experience, that difficult experience, and magnify it 10 times because not only have you got all the normal insecurities, does this person like me? Do I like them? Will they go out with me? But you've also got that added stress and pressure of, is this person going to be accepted by the family? Is it going to be on the front page news? Does this person actually like me for me or for what I represent?